glad Arun has. That's true. He's only narrating history. But the 3 points which are referred to as preposterous. I want this house to know what are the 3 points. Are they preposterous? The first point is the 1%, the interstate 1%. And the concept of GST is denied, is defied if you're going to have this. So that's the first point we have. We've come out publicly on it. It's a logical point that you're going to have movement from one state to another. Why should you have a 1% levy from state to state? The second point is the cap. He says it should not be in the Constitution. I hope they do say that we accept the cap, but let's not have it in the Constitution. That means the only issue is how should it be framed? For us, these are not political points. We've come out publicly. The third point is dispute resolution. If there is a dispute between states, I see Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, who understands this very well here. If there's a dispute between Andhra Pradesh, between his state and my state, you're not going to have the same Council of States.
So, I mean, at the risk of getting this debate completely derailed by solving...
I'm not derailing it.
But seeing as that could add 2 or 3 percentage points to Indian growth, we might still pass the microphone to him as well.
No,
now that you've brought him into it...
So the last point is dispute resolution. We must have a satisfactory dispute resolution mechanism. Right. That's all. Right. These are 3 points. So I don't see what's wrong with these. We are not... If we've got to have a bill, let's have a good bill.
Okay, I promise this is the last comment on GST, which we're going to get from Mr. Naidu, and then give Mr. Jaitley a right to reply.
As rightly mentioned, Kamalanji, this is one bill. World is watching India now. Everybody is watching. Every businessman is asking. GST is passed, and there will be excellent advantage for India. Small problems between opposition and ruling you have to sort out. By any circumstance, you should not create problem for us. That is my personal view. We have to clear at that earliest. If we are having power today itself, we have to clear.
In your heart, I wanna be. Again, the spell you cast will never wane.
If we are having power today itself, we have to clear.
So there we have it. The GST is coming. All right, fine. Eddie, I want to move on to innovation. Unless you want to quickly respond to what. Well, are you hoping that the GST is going to come now, or should we forget about that and move on with the rest of the agenda?
You see, the GST is certainly going to come. And I think what Kamal has just now said, I have also conveyed my reaction to the leaders of his party, that I am willing to go back to the states, the manufacturing states on the 1%. There is some substance in what he said on that issue. And therefore, this is what I've already conveyed privately to his leaders. I have no hesitation in public. The R&R, which the government, the revenue neutral base has suggested, is in the range of 16, 16 and a half. No tariff can ever be permitted. If the volumes increase, it comes down. If there's a crisis, it may go up. And therefore, the concept of cap didn't strike either of your 2 finance ministers or the standing committee or the entire government when you were in power during those decades. And as far as the dispute resolution is concerned, please go back to your party. What Mr. Chidambaram said on the file is what I have said. Now, if you are wiser just because you are in opposition, the situation has changed. Therefore, what you have proposed on the file, I am quite willing to accept that.
All right. Okay. But let's just move on to the other things. We'll come back and get a further thing. I really don't want to spend Davos sorting out GST, although maybe the gap isn't as much as it was. Let me therefore move to something on which perhaps there'll be less disagreement and conflict. The entire question of innovation.
Yes.
You know, there are people who would say that the first and the second industrial revolution, such as there were, may not necessarily have been areas where India would have done the best, big, large manufacturing hubs and all of that. But now what we are talking about with innovation and digital and startups and bright young people coming together and doing things, that might actually be just the right place for India to shine. And that's what's happening. If you look at Silicon Valley, a large number of those companies are set up by Indians or have large What, Mr. Chambers, is it that India needs to do to get its act right?
Well, I think you learn from our lessons of the past. In 2005, we did not articulate as good a vision and how we were going to fill in the pieces on how we're going to move forward. Many of the venture capital world, Sunil, you saw this happen, went to India saying this is going to be the next generation of startups, and candidly, they did not do very well. What has to be done differently this time? I think you have to articulate the vision from the top. The political parties do have to come together and say, because I have both friends here, say, how do we do what's right for our country long term? We've seen the startups in India really start to regenerate in the last year and a half. And if I were doing a startup in the world, I would probably either do it in Silicon Valley or in India. Now, what do you have to do differently? You've got to reskill the workforce because the skills are not there to do the digital manufacturing. You've got to do regulation, which really allows blow away the roadblocks for the skills to go with it. The venture money will come right back in and market it quickly. When you build out this infrastructure for a digital country, you will have a whole new generation of startups, just like the internet revolution in the 90s, that will feed off of this in terms of healthcare and education and manufacturing, and the social media that goes with it. So I think the pieces are there. I think the country just has to put the puzzle together.
Obviously, you've been betting very heavily on a digital future, and for you and your company, that'd be great if it happens. What are some of the roadblocks that need to be crossed?
Well, first of all, I think this fourth industrial revolution that we talk about, the digital revolution, the digital transformation, naturally belongs to India. I mean, this is really a sweet spot that we are operating in. In the absence of physical infrastructure or something that will take tens of years, we have an opportunity like never before. Technology is helping us. The price of the technology coming down every month is helping us. Now, putting our very low-cost smartphone in the hands of citizens of India is no more a dream, it's a reality. It's happening very fast. Last quarter saw 28 million smartphones being shipped. This is going to go to 30, 40 million a quarter, which means over 100 million smartphones are going to get into Indian hands every year. And perhaps this will accelerate going forward. This creates a tremendous amount of power in the hands of citizens. Equally, ease of doing things for the government in terms of direct benefit transfers, subsidies being given through that, financial inclusions, healthcare, education, and of course e-commerce. Today e-commerce on mobile phones is over $200 billion. By 2020 this will cross $650 billion globally. Over 48 countries now have web pages on mobile being more than things are dramatically altering, and this really belongs to us. What are the obstacles? First of all, let's see the innovation. We just had the Startup India conference where the Finance Minister and the Prime Minister brought in lots of young, energetic people to be given the encouragement to do more. I think that piece is moving extremely well. Government needs to ensure that we have a robust highway. Broadband highways are critical for us. And I think the Digital India theme is talked about. We need more spectrum, we need more investment in telecommunication, we need consolidation. And some of the stuff this government has done, trading, sharing, I think some more needs to be.
Rubin, what would you be suggesting to the Finance Minister and the Prime Minister of India when it comes to really being able to leverage? India has the talent, India has the capacity, India has the capability. We can get the innovation right, it would be a major force for growth. What is it that they need to do?
In some sense, I would say India is in a sweet spot because traditionally, say, China had a comparative advantage in manufacturing, while in India has been comparative advantage in services and especially information services. As everybody pointed out, we're becoming a global economy, is becoming more digital, whether the variety of information technology are occurring or completely change the world, how we produce, how we live, how we work, how we study, and so on. So that's an advantage of India, because the world is going to become more services and less manufacturing. India has to also develop manufacturing, but then manufacturing is becoming digital in new ways. I think the bottleneck that have to be faced is that there is a lack of infrastructure that has to be done, not just traditional infrastructure. I think building the digital infrastructure is going to be key, and it doesn't have to be just private or public, to be a combination of the two. Secondly, as I pointed out, investing in human capital is key. It's great when you get thousands of programmers, but there are hundreds of millions of Indians who don't have access yet to even basic good education. So that's going to be a challenge. There's an issue of regulations that have been excessive in India and have to be streamlined